Hello, welcome back to Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger on December 1st, 2020. So far, in our Tactical Tuesday and Survival Saturday, we talked about uh, a lot of stuff, and I think the majority of them has been offensive. How to do this to cause the most damage, how to do this to get the best control. We have thus far talked relatively little about defensive movement. Now, there's two reasons for that. One is I personally believe the best defense is a strong offense. But also, more so than that, it is hard to do defensive stuff when it's just me. When there's no one to attack me so I can show you guys what things should look like when a defensive movement is done right. But the fact remains there are still times when it is good and very important to know how to defend yourself from a pure defensive point of view, not just in fighting. In the end, self-defense is about every facet of your life and not just about fighting, getting attacked, or getting into conflict. And it can be about protecting yourself from a fall, protecting yourself from unwanted advances, etc., etc. The concept I'm going to show you guys today may seem a little complicated in the beginning, and when you first start to practice this, it will be hard. It will seem awkward and frustrating. But once you can get this to work, once you can master this motion, it will be such a useful tool that your defensive game will go up by a lot. And the chance of you getting hurt will also decrease. A lot of us have heard about rolling with the punch. And people said, well, you might be having a lot of bad luck, but it's okay if you just roll with the punches, you will be okay. Um, in boxing, we hear about people rolling with the punches. Some of us have seen it in motion when we watch boxing or MMA. But for those of you who don't know what it actually means, rolling with the punches means when someone comes in and take a swing at you, you don't just stand there and take it. You don't just stand there and block it. You don't just stand there and try to move your head out of the way. Instead, what you do is you roll your body to dump the momentum of the punch, to dissipate. This is a key word today. Dissipate. Dissipation. Not block, not parry, not duck, but dissipating an incoming force. So rather than standing there and take the punch, or stand there and try to block a punch, if I have no choice but to take the punch, I'm going to let it hit me, and when it hit me, I let its momentum turn me. So if the punch hits my left shoulder, I'm going to roll into it. I'm going to let my left shoulder get pushed back, my right shoulder come in. I'm not getting set backward. I'm not getting knocked down. In fact, I get closer to my opponent. When I hit my left shoulder, I'm moving in. My right shoulder is in. My left shoulder is back, and I can come back with this big left hook. Okay? When I come in with a punch to my right shoulder, I let the punch roll me back. My left side is out. I'm closer to them, and I can move in. Okay? I still look like I get hit, but the actual damage, the actual impact is maybe only 15% of the original force. Similarly, and I had to practice this hundreds of times, getting hit in the face and turn my head at the last minute. So if someone throw a hook at my chin, Rather than taking it on the chin, I'm going to turn my head on impact. Turn my head on impact. Roll with the punch. Roll with the punch. Roll with the punch. Why is it that when martial artists get thrown in judo matches, in wrestling matches, they don't just boom, thumb down and come back up. They always roll on the ground. Why is it when you jump out of a moving car or you jump from high places, you don't want to just slide down to the ground. You want to roll. It is exactly the same principle. It is exactly the same reason. Every time there's an impact, if it's a straight impact, it's 100% impact. If you can roll, then every time you turn over, every time you roll, you're cutting the impact by half. So let's say you fall down, let's say it's a winter day, and you slip on a patch of ice, and you sunk down to the ground, straight down. You just took 100% of that force. Let's say you're 200 pounds. Now we multiply that by momentum. I'm not a physics student, so I don't really know the exact number. But let's say you're 200 pounds, and let's say you go down with factoring in momentum. Let's say there's 600 pounds of force hitting you. That's really ouchy. That hurts a lot, right? Now, if you go down and you roll once, now you're only getting 300 pounds of force. You roll another time, you get 150 pounds of force. Still hurts, but definitely not as bad as 600 pounds of force. So how do we further apply the dissipation in our arsenal, in our defensive movement? I'm going to show you guys something really cool that again, it's really hard to master, but once you can get it, it works like a charm. Let's say I stick my right arm out in front of me, and I take my left arm and hit my right arm as hard as I can towards my face, right? Again, right arm in front of my face, left arm, hit it as hard as it can. One of two things is going to happen when my right arm is here, steady, no matter how strong I am. One of two things is going to happen. When you get hit, it will either stop the hit, but ow, that hurts a lot, or it won't be able to stop the hit. What happens? The second possibility, a lot of times it will happen like this, is the right arm can't take the force, and it will fold in and hit myself in the face. Yeah? So one of two possibilities. When you block like this, either you stop the punch, stop the attack, but in the process you get hurt quite badly, or you don't manage to stop it and your arm come back and hit yourself in the face, which is ouchy and embarrassing. Uh, but if upon impact I roll my arm, okay, like I'm turning a doorknob, I'm turning a doorknob, not before impact, mind you, because if I do it before impact, then all I do is trade one spot for a different spot to get hit. I need to wait for that impact. And on the moment I feel that impact, I turn the doorknob. I roll my arm. Now watch what's going to happen. I stick my right arm out here. My left arm is going to swing at it as hard as I can. And then on impact, I'm going to roll my right arm. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw this. Do that again. Left arm, hitting right arm as hard as you can. Right arm, roll upon impact. What happens, for those of you who can't see the screen, is when I roll, my left arm, the attacking arm, actually gets bounced off of my right arm. And I barely feel anything on my right arm. Okay? This works for defending against sticks, fists, kicks, Any kind of impact, blunt impact, obviously you don't want to do that with a machete. Machete swing at you, you don't want to block it. Okay? But if someone's coming to you with a baseball bat, okay, a lot of us who gone to karate or taekwondo, we learn this. Oi, this block, right? Someone come at you with a baseball bat, and you go this. Oi, you're going to get your arm broken, okay? Because you're meeting hard baseball bat with your hard arm, and most likely, hard baseball bat is harder than hard arm. But if you go oi and then you roll your arm on impact, most likely you will rebound that baseball bat and you won't get your arm broken. It will still hurt. I'm not gonna say it still won't hurt. It still hurts, but at least you won't get your arm broken because you have dissipated that force. You're not just taking that hit on one spot of your arm. As soon as you feel the hit, you roll your arm. So now you are using the entire circumference possible to dissipate that force. When I apply this principle, when I apply this to regular day-to-day life, it saved me many, many times as well. Let's say I'm walking forward and I'm walking into this counter rather than walking into the counter, which hurts. Okay? If I feel the impact and roll my body, then I can continue on my way almost without breaking a stride. The counter doesn't hurt me because when I run into it, I roll around it and continue moving. Right? The rolling motion is what saved me from bouncing off, bouncing back, taking the full impact of whatever hit me or whatever I hit. So, again, with the arm, but you can apply it to almost anything. Roll your head, roll your arm, roll your leg, whichever part that get hit. If you can roll it, roll it. If you can twist it, twist it. Again, not before impact, but on impact. Very useful for people like myself who honestly have a hard time anticipating physical strikes because I can't see it coming. So usually by the time I know someone's going to hit me, I got hit already. So it's a very useful tool for someone like me because I'm going to feel it first. When I feel, I roll. And now I look like I got hit, but I didn't take any damage. So when someone swings at you, meet it with your arm, and upon impact, turn the doorknob. Big solid turn with your arm. Big roll your arm. Turn that doorknob, crank that wheel, just make that circular roll with your arm. And you will be able to dissipate the incoming strike like a champ. Thank you for checking out today's Tactical Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night.